Hello students, how are you all? This is Ashmita Mahapatra going to teach you Social Science Contemporary India 1, the chapter Climate Part 2. In our previous class, we all discussed about the difference between weather and climate, the climatic controls and the factors those affect the climate of our country India, such as latitude, altitude, pressure and wind systems, ocean currents and many other things. Today we will study about the onset of monsoon and its withdrawal, the seasons, the type of season that are the cold weather season that is winter, the hot weather season that is summer, the advancing monsoon that is rainy season and the retreating monsoon that is transition. And next we will be learning about the distribution of rainfall and monsoon as a unifying bond. Coming to the first phase of our discussion, the onset of monsoon and its withdrawal. As you all know students, the monsoon that winds, they are seasonal winds and they change their direction as they are affected by the atmospheric condition such as temperature and pressure. The total duration of this monsoon wind that blows over India in between 100 to 120 days in a year. It blows between the month of early June to mid of September. Let us discuss about the arrival of the monsoon. In the beginning of the monsoon, the rainfall increases suddenly and continue it for several days, and this is called the burst of the monsoon. The monsoon begins from the southern tip of our country India, that is from Indian Ocean, and here it divides into two branches. One is called the Arabian Sea branch, the other section is called the Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian Sea branch blows towards the southwest and the Bay of Bengal branch, they blow towards Assam. The Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch, they merge at Ganga plain and they bring heavy rainfall over Ganga plain. By the first week of July, total Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Eastern Rajasthan, they all receive this monsoon. Next, let's discuss about the withdrawal of the monsoon. It is a gradual process. It starts from the northwestern states from the month of September. By October, it withdraws completely from the northern half of the peninsula. Whereas in the southern half of the peninsula, the withdrawal is more rapid. By the month of December, the monsoon completely withdraws from the entire country. Coming to the islands. The two islands, as you all know, our Andaman Nicobar Island and the Lakshadweep Island. They receive monsoon from the last week of April, and the withdrawal, it starts from December and January. Let us discuss about the seasons. How many type of seasons do you experience in your place? Can anyone tell me? Let's discuss about what are the type of seasons that we experience in India. In India, practically we experience four major type of seasons. Number one, the cold weather season, that is winter. The hot weather season, that is summer. The advancing monsoon, that is rainy season. And the last but not the least, the retreating monsoon, that is called to be the transition season. Let's find out what is there in the cold weather season. The cold weather season, it starts from the mid-November in the northern India till February. You know students, December and January are the coldest month of the year, mostly in the northern part of our country. During winter, when it is 25 degrees in Chennai, it is around 15 degrees centigrade in the northern plain. Let us discuss some of the important features of the cold weather season, that is winter season. During this time, you know students, mostly the northern part of your Himalayas and the northern plains, they get snowfall and the frost. Why? Why is it so? This is due to the impact of the western cyclonic disturbances that your westerly bring that wind and blow over the northern plain, so also over Himalayas and bring snowfall and frost over this area. Coming to the next important feature of the cold weather season, that is winter. During this time, Tamil Nadu receives rain during winter. Why? How come Tamil Nadu receives rain during winter? This is due to, as if you notice in the map, when the wind they blow from land to sea during the cold weather season, those bulk of wind they cross over Bay of Bengal, hit near Tamil Nadu and bring rainfall to Tamil Nadu. Another important feature, how Punjab and Uttar Pradesh they also receive winter rainfall. This is due to the westerly jet stream that pull the western cyclonic disturbances and causes rainfall. Not only over Punjab but also some other places in the northern plain. That makes to bring winter rain to Punjab, which is locally known as Mahavat, and it helps for the crop called to be Rabi crops. In the same time, northern part of Himalayas they receive snowfall. Let us discuss about the hot weather season, that is the summer season. The summer season begins in the month of March and continues till the month of May, that is in India. This is marked by the shifting of the world pressure belt, that is 5 degrees north from its origin near the equator. Due to the shifting of this world pressure belt, the different areas, that is in India, they record different type of temperature. For example, during this time, Deccan Plateau, it records the highest temperature, that is near about 38 degrees centigrade in the month of March, whereas Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, they record around 42 degrees centigrade in the month of April. In the month of May, the northwestern part that records around 45 degrees centigrade. By the end of the month of May, an intense low pressure develops between Thar Desert towards Chotanagpur Plateau. Coming to some of its remarkable features. Number one, the impact of Loo, L-O-O, Loo. This is a local wind which blows during the summertime, mostly in the north and northwestern part of our country. This wind is a dry, gusty and a very hot wind that blows over this area. The impact of this wind on people, they have been affected by heat stroke, sunstroke, sometimes it becomes fatal. Another important feature of this season is about Kal Baisakhi. In the month of May, generally this season gets accompanied with thunderstorms, lightning, violent winds, and that bring torrential rainfall and sometimes bring hails. And these storms are known to be the Kal Baisakhi in the place called West Bengal. Do you know about what are hails? What are hails? Hails are the pellets of frozen rain which falls in showers from the cumulus clouds. Coming to another important feature of this hot weather season, it is marked by mango showers. Do you know, children, what is mango showers? It's not about that mango comes as a shower. It happens towards the end of the summer season, the place called Kerala and in Karnataka. They receive pre-monsoon showers which helps the mango to ripe. And the farmers, they get a very good amount of ripened mango. Thus, they call it to mango showers. Next, let us discuss about the advancing monsoon. This is called to be the rainy season. During this time, the first week of June, the trade winds, they start blowing from the southern hemisphere, crossing the equator, enter into Indian Ocean. After crossing equator, due to the impact of the Coriolis force, they deflect towards right and blow towards India in a southwest direction. As the winds blow over warm water bodies, they bring abundant moisture to India and brings heavy rainfall. When the southwest monsoon hit the windward side of the Western Ghats, it receives heavy rainfall, that is around 250 centimeter, compared to its leeward side. Let us discuss about the windward and the leeward side of a mountain. On a mountain, the side which faces the sea, That particular side of the mountain is called to be the windward side, which obstructs or checks the flow of the wind and brings rainfall. The other side of the mountain, which is opposite to the windward side, is called to be the leeward side of the mountain, which gets very scanty or less rainfall compared to the windward side. Another important feature of this advancing monsoon is that which place receives the maximum rainfall. Can you guess? The maximum rainfall that is received by the place that is in India and also in the world is none other than Mawson Ram, which lies in Meghalaya. What makes Mawson Ram to receive highest amount of rainfall? It is surrounded by the hills called Garo, Khasi and Jaintia. And the Marshall-Aden wind crossing the Bay of Bengal hit in this mountain and brings heavy rainfall to Mawson Ram. One more important feature, that the rainfall, it starts reducing from east towards west of India. If you look into the map, due to the east-west extension of our country India, the rainfall start decreasing towards west. Another important feature of this monsoon is that it occurs for a few days continuously. Then it has a tendency to take a break. This break is related to the movement of the monsoon trough. What is a trough? A trough is a belt of low pressure area that extends a large area. As you all know, monsoon is very erratic in nature. Due to the wet and dry spells of the monsoons, sometimes it causes heavy rainfall in one part, the other part it may cause drought. Another feature, monsoon is very irregular in its nature during its arrival as well as the time of retreat that affects the cultivation in India. Let us discuss about the retreating monsoon, which is called the transition season. It begins in the month of October and November. During this time, the low pressure in the northern part of India gets weaker and replaced by high pressure. And the wind starts moving from land to sea. Now, the southwest monsoon starts withdrawing from the land. And this period is called the transition period or the changeover period. It is marked by several features. Number one, during this period, it is marked by clear sky, rising in temperature, and during the day, it remains very hot, and during night, it remains very cold. And as the wind retains moisture, the weather becomes hot and oppressive. And this period, it is called the October heat. Retreating monsoon is marked by cyclones, that is tropical cyclones. The tropical cyclones during this retreating monsoon period is very common. The cyclones are common in the eastern coast of India, that is mostly in Odisha and West Bengal and parts of Bangladesh. How a cyclone is caused? As the low pressure over the northwest gets transferred to the water bodies, that is in Andaman Sea, in Bay of Bengal, it develops intense low pressure and get associated with the cyclones. What are cyclones? The cyclones are the low pressure area in the center gets surrounded by high pressure all around it. That makes the wind to blow from all the direction towards the center of the low pressure in an anti-clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and a clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. These cyclones, they cause lot of devastation not only to the property but also to the people. Moving on to the next unit, that is the distribution of rainfall. The distribution of rainfall in India is very uneven. When some parts they receive heavy rainfall, the other part they remain dry. In some parts when it is marked with floods, the other part it is marked with drought or famine. It all because the distribution of rainfall is very uneven. The areas, those who receive heavy rainfall in India are the west and the eastern coast of India, the Himalayan region and the northeastern region of India. Those areas receive around 400 centimeter annually, whereas the places that is western Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, they all receive less than 60 centimeter of rainfall annually, whereas the rest part of India, they receive moderate rainfall. Coming to the snowfall, you know students, in which part of a country they receive snowfall? It is your Himalaya region. So mostly the Himalayan region, they receive the snowfall. If we discuss about the annual rainfall, that also vary from one year to the other. In some part of a country, those who receive heavy rainfall, they are marked with floods and a lot of devastation. The part they receive scanty rainfall or less rainfall, they are marked with drought and famine. So this is all about your distribution of rainfall over India. Let us discuss about monsoon as a unifying bond. Despite of the moderating influence of the Himalayas and the adjoining sea, there is a great variation in temperature and distribution of rainfall in India. But with all this variation, climate plays a major role as a unifying bond due to its reversal wind system. It helps in providing a rhythmic cycle of season. As you all know, India's population, plant life, animal life, they all depend on your monsoon. Our livelihood, our agriculture, our festivals, our religion, everything, they all revolve around climate. All the people in India, particularly the farmers, they eagerly await for the arrival of monsoon. Let's find out what you learn from this chapter. As you all know, climate, it plays a very significant role not only in the life of the people but also all the living beings that depend on it. This chapter helps us to know about the functioning, the mechanism of monsoon and its impact on our livelihood. And we also learn how monsoon binds the whole country not only economically but also culturally. So student, so here we come to the end of the chapter climate. What you've learned from this chapter climate, as already we have discussed regarding the factors those affect the climate of our place. So the factors those affect the climate of India. We also learned about the mechanism of monsoon and we also knew about what is the difference between weather and the climate. A very important thing that we have discussed today, that is regarding your different seasons like hot weather season, cold weather season, rainy season and their impact on our life. We also discuss about the distribution of rainfall. One thing you might have observed, when one part of a country receives heavy rainfall, in the same time the other place they remain dry. And what is the reason behind it? It is the variation in temperature, so also pressure. This is the wind system that affects the temperature and the pressure of a place. Before we wind up, let me ask a few questions. Are you ready, students? Okay. Who can tell me what do you mean by Lu? Right. Lu is a local wind. There are three types of wind. One is the permanent wind, which is otherwise called the prevailing wind. The second wind, that is called seasonal wind, that changes its direction from time to time. The best example is our monsoon. The third one is called to be the local wind. So this Lu is a local wind. Lu is a gusty, dry and a hot wind. It mostly blows in the north and northwestern part of our country. When this wind blows during the daytime, due to this, many people get affected. They get sunstroke or heat stroke and that becomes fatal. This is all about Lu. Can anyone tell me which place receives the maximum amount of rainfall in the world? Right. The answer is Mawson Ram. Students, previously it was Cherrapunji. Now it is changed to Mawson Ram. Where is Mawson Ram situated? It lies in Meghalaya. What makes Mawson Ram to receive this amount of rainfall, the highest amount of rainfall? As already discussed, this place lies in Meghalaya and it is surrounded by the hills called Garo, Khasi and Jaintia. When the moisture-laden winds they blow from Bay of Bengal hit near these hills, they obstruct the flow of the wind and bring heavy rainfall. That makes Mawsynram to get the highest rain in the world. Let me ask an easy question. What is the duration of summer season in India? Can anyone answer? Okay. The answer is from March till May. What is the duration of the cold weather season in India? The answer is the cold weather season, it starts from the mid-November in the northern India till February. December and January are the coldest month of the year, mostly in the northern part of our country. During this time, mostly the northern part of your Himalayas and the northern plains, they get snowfall and the frost. Why? Why is it so? This is due to the impact of the western cyclonic disturbances that your westerly bring that wind and blow over the northern plain, so also over Himalayas and bring snowfall and frost over this area. Do you know about Kal Baisakhi? The summer season gets accompanied with thunderstorms, lightning, violent winds and that bring torrential rainfall and sometimes bring hails. And these storms are known to be the Kal Baisakhi in the place called West Bengal. Let me ask another easy question. Let us see who can answer. Name the major seasons found in India. Can anyone answer? Okay, there are 4 major seasons. They are cold weather season, which we call winter, hot weather season, which we call summer, advancing monsoon, which is called rainy season, and the retreating monsoon, which we call transition season. Can anyone tell me about the advancing monsoon? Right. The answer is, this is called to be the rainy season. During this time, the first week of June, the trade winds, they start blowing from the southern hemisphere, crossing the equator, enter into Indian Ocean. After crossing equator, due to the impact of the Coriolis force, they deflect towards right and blow towards India in a southwest direction. As the winds blow over warm water bodies, they bring abundant moisture to India and brings heavy rainfall. When the southwest monsoon hit the windward side of the Western Ghats, it receives heavy rainfall. That is around 250 centimeter. That's all about this chapter, climate. Hope you might have understood the chapter. So, take care, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you.